In today's video, I did a walking tour of Warsaw, Poland, which is the capital of Poland, and it was covering the city's World War II history, which shaped it to the city it is today because it was primarily destroyed mostly during the city. It was 85% leveled by the end of the war. So they tried to rebuild parts of the historic center to what it was before the war, and they left bits and pieces of the past there that you could see exposed. So there's parts where you could see where the battles and stuff happened on the streets to remind people of today that there was great destruction in the past. And the history is pretty heavy. There's a lot of violence, a lot of destruction, a lot of just horrible things that happened in the past, and I think it's definitely worth visiting Warsaw just to learn about all the stuff that happened there, and a lot of the things that the people here in Poland overcame during those difficult years. I also tried some local food and I saw a few other sites, so I hope you enjoy what you see other than the tour of the walking tour of like the different sites of the war. So yeah, it was a good day overall. Kind of rained a bit, but I got to see quite a bit and I learned quite a bit from the tour. So I hope you enjoy what you see, and please like, share, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, it's crazy to think they turned this like little parking lot area into like a giant party. It's kind of nuts. It's fun though. It's really bright today. Indeed. All right, so I have a walking tour today, and I just left the hostel. Kind of slept in a day. It's kind of tired from last night. But yeah, it's cool. Find out more about the city here in a bit. Yeah, here are the metro stations. Or the top of them, the entrance to them. They're pretty cool. I went in yesterday, so if you watched yesterday's video, they are pretty impressive inside of them. Despite the machines being finicky, gotta be careful with those things. Seems like they're having like a recruiting session for like the military and police and fire services, emergency services. I don't know. It's like the buses here. See how they do traffic here. Oh, that looks a little bit dangerous. There's like a sign thrown out there in the middle of the street. Like some of the streets closed off here. Looks like they're in some sort of political rally here or something. I see like probably right-wing political rally, so I should probably avoid that. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's the anti-gay Christians here, so it's kind of like the America, it's like the Republicans, I guess, in America. Alright, so this is the cathedral closest to my place. Outside of it. Let's see what the name of it is. So like look it up later maybe. Alright, so this place is actually the Church of the Holy Cross here, and they have like a bunch of stuff of Pope John Paul, because he was, I think he may have been the only Polish pope. I have to double check, but he was like, the most famous pope of the 21st century probably. Well, it looks like they're doing mass in there, so I'll come back later and check it out. So this is what I like when they just shut down a whole street like this. We need to start doing more of this in Albuquerque, where we shut down a street for like bikes, or just see what it's like to live in a street that's not dominated by cars for a minute. How nice it can be. This looks interesting. Let's go. Oh wow, check out this bookstore. It's like cool, old-fashioned looking. I don't know what this is. I think it's another like church or chapel or something. Yeah, Sunday. So I think a lot of the churches have services right now, so it's not the best time. I have my tour like in an hour, so I think I'm just gonna try some Polish food, honestly. See what they got. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, quite. This might be like the government building, maybe. Not quite sure. Hotel Bristol. That's like a beautiful garden here. This whole area is really pretty. I mean, I'm sorry, Polish history is kind of like my weakness. I don't know much about. I didn't do like any research coming to Warsaw. I just knew it was the capital, and I kind of want to check it out and see what I learned today. Honestly, I'm kind of coming here with a clean slate, so this is all going to be new to me for the most part. All right, we're gonna try Polish food for the first time. I have no idea what I'm gonna be doing. So we got pierogies here. It's like a standard meal. Is it a snack? Hmm. It's a lot to choose from. Red Bull with an egg in there. God, I don't even know where to start. Oh wow. Huh. Very interesting. All right, so here's my Polish appetizer. They use lard as kind of like butter here, or like a topping for bread. So got little pickles. I got some black coffee to kind of wake me up. I haven't had my coffee yet. See how it goes. All right, so I got the potato pancakes. I figured I'd get the pierogies in other places, so trying that. But oh my god, this stuff is so good. It's like bacon butter. I'm surprised Americans aren't eating this stuff. It's insane. This would sell so well in America, combining butter and bacon, basically. Man, I have stuff to the gills. That was good. Definitely some interesting textures and flavors and all that. So they had like some pork there and like with the latkes, the potato pancakes. And yeah, it was really nice. They were like seasoned well. The paprika, and I had a little bit of bite to it. Maybe I like lost my ability to eat spicy foods, and I've been up in like Scandinavia, Nordic countries forever, so I haven't really eaten like super spicy stuff in a while. So get a little taste of it when I head south, I guess. It's like the main library here. The other building is. Right, here in Warsaw. Warszawa, as they say in English. Which I just probably butchered because I've never spoken Polish before. So if I ever try to pronounce anything Polish today, just forgive me because I've never spoken it before. I've never studied it before. I have no idea. I haven't heard it much, so it's a completely new thing for me. It's pretty crazy.
And also what challenges stood in front of the architect.
So this whole area was basically destroyed during the war. Whenever the Nazis initially attacked, they started bombing Warsaw like straight away, and this entire building was basically wiped out, except this like corner bit there. So if you look really close, you could still see bullet holes from World War II there. There's some like leftover pieces over there. But yeah, like this whole area is basically reconstruction from the war. But 10% of the city was destroyed within the first month of the German invasion by German bombing from the air. And military kind of was unprepared and poorly equipped to fight the Germans alone. And then I guess Germany and the Soviet Union had a secret deal, and then the Soviets attacked from the other side, and it was basically over once the Soviets attacked. The kids are doing like little K-pop dances or something. I don't know.
1939. And the German troops are, of course, we have problems connected with war everywhere. Problems with food.
That building behind us right there is like where the Nazis set up like their occupation headquarters for the city, and they basically divided the city up between like they basically stole the best remaining houses from like the wealthy families here and kept it for like the officers, administrators, and soldiers, German soldiers. They set up special trams only Germans could use, and they basically just terrorized the population. They'd grab random people for forced labor in Germany or other parts of the German occupied territories. And towards the end of the war, they were just grabbing people and killing them, you know, just out of, even though they knew they were losing the war, they were just kill people for no reason. So it was just a regime of terror. Also killing people for owning radios, for any sort of infractions against the German army, being disrespectful to German soldiers, any sort of perceived slights. They would just basically murder local Polish citizens, and also denying people education and just using people, viewing them as just cheap labor to be ground up and used as part of like their war machine. They basically wanted to exterminate Poland as a country and people. So this guy, Adam Itzka, was a poet. Sorry, a poem. He wrote poems as a poet. So I just learned that. I guess the guide is saying that he had actually never been to Warsaw, which is kind of ironic. So the guide was kind of talking about recovering art that was stolen from the Nazis. So they did a pretty thorough job of pillaging like the art from the city and basically stealing like a lot of the church bell towers, all the monuments that are made out of bronze, so they could use it to make like weapons and stuff like that, shell casings and bullets and those sort of things. What continue the war? So a lot of the city was pillaged, all the rooftops, anything of metal and stuff.
Okay, when I talk like buildings in the country, that's the president's palace. That's where the president of Poland wore, and they could also live here, as the current one does. So you might also think, what's quite new? Yes, it's recently renovated. However, it's one of those new structures here that survived. Originally, it was built in the. So the Hotel Bristol survived. I guess the Nazis used it as a place of recreation and place for like the officers to come and stay for the night. So they used it as a kind of like barracks and like they had like a little casino in there and games and stuff for the soldiers. So yeah, it's kind of strange, but it made it through. It's like one of the wealthier or more expensive places for wealthy people to stay here in the city. So if you got money, I guess you'll be staying at the Hotel Bristol if you're in Warsaw. So yeah, the city is scarred with like bullet holes still through the war. They left some stuff unrepaired so people would remember what happened. But you can see here this building. So where they have little patches here, these squares is where they repaired the holes in the past after the city was being reconstructed. So a lot of sturdier stuff, they kind of just patched it up and reused it right away. So yeah, you could see up there, like there in the corner. That's left over from World War II. So they left this square. I guess this entire area is kind of leveled and they just turned it into a square. Polish flag, the white on top of the red. So this square used to hold this palace here. It was demolished by the Germans with times dynamite controlled explosions. That's what they wanted to look like, because in the future they're gonna rebuild it. It's like crazy to think how much destruction there was. How many people used to live in that? That's crazy. This Pope. So So we're in Poland's Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. It's guarded 24/7 by actual service members here. And these urns hold ashes of soldiers throughout the centuries, starting in the year 972. But this was basically the only thing left over from the palace. It's this little front bit called the arcade. And the story goes that the soldiers, the German soldiers, didn't properly wire this place up for destruction because they had some respect for the German soldiers, or maybe, or not the German, the Polish, but also they saw themselves in there. Maybe if this became part of Germany, they might be like honored in this way, I guess. I don't know. Or they were just incompetent. One or the other. Those are the two options we have. Yeah, so I guess this used to be part of the palace grounds. It kind of was like Versailles or something. Polish version of it. Yeah, the weather is turning south. It's going bad. And yeah, it's started pouring again. It's like on and off here. It'll come in like strong, and then it'll just clear up, and then an hour later it starts raining again.
PW. Now you know it, you will see it almost everywhere in Warsaw on the war memorials especially. Yeah, because PW is the symbol of the Polish resistance. PW stands for Polska Walcząca, meaning Poland fighting. And it reminds you of an anchor. It's not a coincidence, it's on purpose. Because anchor is a symbol of hope. And that's exactly what this symbol was supposed to be. The building is not the prettiest, but at least it shows us the original size of the whole structure.
So this is also the former central bank of the country, and I guess a lot of executions happened here. You could see by all the bullet holes and stuff on the wall. Yeah, it was kind of a gruesome sight. It's now a private building, but I guess they can't change the facade because it's now considered like a historical monument. And now we're gonna head to what used to be the Warsaw ghetto. You can see here on the ground, these are like markings that show where the old ghetto, this ghetto was from like 249. Here's a map of the place. So these pillars mark the borders of the old, the Jewish ghetto during the World War II. Yeah, like however bad the Poles had it during the war, the Jews had it far worse. They're basically like crammed into a small area, basically systematically starved and not allowed to like leave. Essentially, it was basically like an open air prison for them.
Destroyed and dismantled. It's wiped off the map. And I'm sure you're wondering, what about the church? Why it's still there? The church was spared on.
Yeah, like Warsaw received wholesale destruction, and it seems like the Warsaw ghetto received total destruction. They basically wiped the entire place out. And yeah, a lot of people just went out fighting. They knew what was going to happen. So they decided to fight till the end, you know? It's horrible how many people were killed. Yeah, it's like weird, like looking at this like beautiful park, this whole area now. And at that time, it was just a battlefront. Yeah, it's just insane, like this war and how we could turn places like this just into total destruction, you know, just everything that's happening in the world today. It's like we never learn our lessons. This park is really beautiful. Just- It's pretty incredible. It's really hard. And taking the bus back to the hotel for a bit. Alright, let's see if we get on this thing. These are cool barriers. You can just deploy them like really quickly. Alright, so they were having mass earlier. Let's try my luck this time around. I'm here back at the Church of the Holy Cross. Luckily, it's only like about 5-minute walk away from where I'm staying, so come here before the end of the day. I want to check this place out and that like culture museum, which was a gift from the Soviets. So it's kind of a interesting building. At least looking on the outside, I don't know if I could even go in now, but I'll always take a little closer look at it. No luck. I think they just have like all day masses or something. It's kind of crazy. It actually sounded like really pretty though, and like a choir or something in there. I don't think I've ever heard Polish sung like that, so it's kind of cool. So I got to go inside the church for just a bit. But it was really cool actually. They were having like a orchestral like concert in there. Like mass, I don't know if it was a mass or what, but they were playing the organs, the acoustics were perfect. The music was really beautiful actually, so if you get a chance to hear those organs playing inside a cathedral, it's kind of worth it because the acoustics in cathedrals are usually designed to be pretty good, and the organ player actually really knew what he was doing. He got like a full, people were really full applause from the whole crowd, so it was really cool. Interesting, really cool experience. All right, I was probably could have just walked, but I wanted to take the metro again because it's cool. It's interesting, fun. All right, these ones are kind of old-fashioned. I've seen these in like Mexico. So you basically have to stick the ticket in like that. Wrong way. Stick it in like that. Comes out like that, and then you go through. All right. All right, so I take this station. What time? right, here's the gift from the Soviet Union, this great building, the Cultural Museum. So it actually looks pretty cool from the outside, honestly. Check it out. I don't know how close I get to it. I don't even know if it's open today. It's Sunday evening, so I think I'm like bad timing for doing anything today, really. All right, getting closer. I don't even know. Let's see what I can see in there. All right, we are entering the Cultural Museum. Hopefully, I don't know. It's funny just watching the Polish guys just like jump over like the barricades. Like, screw that. Splits out. Wow, this is cool. It's like a shopping thing. I guess you could get like a. I don't know if the viewing thing is worth it. I don't know. Maybe. Let me see how much it costs. So it's like 7, 8 USD to go up there. I'm like, I'm good. I don't know. I don't think it's worth it just to take a quick view, take a few photos, see a panorama. But third time's the charm. I want to try one more time at the church by the house and by the hotel, I mean. And if it's not open, then I guess no church in this video. I mean, it is really tall. It's a pretty good sized building. There's a theater. That's crazy. I hope. Why would they put advertising on top of that building? Is there like a McDonald's up there? Or is that just like some sort of weird advertising? I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's like a really tall building too. Yeah, this theater is pretty cool. They built like an obelisk over there. It's kind of weird. All right, so I'm ending the video here. You know, if you've been making it to the end of my videos and you haven't liked, you haven't shared, you haven't subscribed, you should do so now. But yeah, this video here was a little bit more serious than my other ones. I guess is more immediate. We were talking about history that happened within the past 100 years, you know, and just all the utter destruction the city and this country has really encountered during that time period. So yeah, just learning about the strength of the Polish people to survive such a catastrophe and the sadness and utter destruction of the Jewish people here in Warsaw and Poland and Europe in general. Learning about those stories here in Warsaw. But I hope you learned something. I hope this video was enjoyable, entertaining in some way, or yeah, or at least informative, you know. But yeah, keep tuning in. I still got a few more weeks to put some videos out, so just like, share, subscribe. Appreciate it.